The new Netflix movie, The Perfection, is set in the world of classical music. Charlotte, Allison Williams, is a former star pupil of a prestigious Boston music school run by Anton, Steven Weber, and his wife Paloma, Elena Huffman. She had to leave when her mother suffered a stroke. Now, years later, with her mother having died, Charlotte approaches Anton in Shanghai, where a new pupil for the school is to be selected. The star of the school is Lizzie, Logan Browning, and she and Charlotte not only judge the competition together for Anton, they play together in more ways than one. The two form a connection, Charlotte joining Lizzie on her 2-week non-first class tour of the back blocks of China. But Lizzie gets horribly sick, vomiting bile with worms in it. After they're thrown off the bus, creatures are writhing underneath her skin. And then something catastrophic happens.
What is it? I don't know. What's happening? I don't fucking know. I'm fucking alive. Things are fucking alive.
It's told in chapters, the second of which is Detour, and that's an understatement. This gory tale has its fair share of twists and turns. Some of them risible, but all of them quite enjoyable. The film's the work of director Richard Shepard, who co-wrote the screenplay, and he displays a certain glee in keeping us, the audience, on our toes. Both women are splendid. Allison Williams, familiar from her role in Girls and in Get Out, has a veneer of calm that doesn't quite hide something working underneath. Logan Browning is a knockout as a woman whose life as she knew it disappears in a moment of temporary madness. She's heartbreakingly good. But there's a subtext to the film that, despite its grand guignoled surface, that is appropriate for our times. It's no masterpiece, this film, but it sure has its moments.
Well, it's certainly no masterpiece. This is B-grade horror film of probably the worst kind. This is one of the worst films I've seen for a long time.
You say that just about every week. No.
It is a terrible film.
No, it's not,
The two
actually.
women are very good, though. I mean, the two young women perform really well, and great credit to them. And I don't know how they kind of endured some of the scenes that they had to actually
But I like
get
the
through.
way he turns things on its head. I
It's
think
pretty
it's actually...
predictable. Once you get the first flashback, you kind of know where it's going to go.
I didn't.
I mean, actually, the scenes that do work very well are the scenes on the bus, which do luckily occupy about, less than a third, but probably about 15, 20 minutes. And they're superbly shot, largely handheld and very visceral, very exciting. And that whole sequence, I must say, is very, very well done. But then it does fall very much apart, it must be said.
Oh, I don't agree, you see, because I think there's something holding this together that is quite strong.
Well, you mentioned social commentary. What is this a Me Too film somewhere?
I think it's a Me Too film.
Yes? In which way, Margaret? Please explain, Margaret, with your sociological background.
Well, I mean, you can't say too much because you're giving stuff away. But that, to me, was sort of, I think it's a film for our times. Look.
Well, it's certainly about the exploitation of young women. There's certainly that aspect of it. There's a kind of cult aspect to this film.
Yes.
And again, that's not giving too much away, but they are relentlessly, ruthlessly exploited in so many different ways.
Well, you know, their lives are so rigidly controlled because of their musical talent. Look, you know, I mean, I actually think I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I was going to. I'm giving it 4 stars.
I'm giving it 2.5.
Well, you know what happens now.